Hello everybody, this is Ordaehn. I'm going to be bringing you a one-on-one here on Blistering Sands as soon as this finishes loading. Computer's being a little slow today. This is the first replay I'm recording today, but it probably won't be the last. We've got quite a few good ones to show people, so. While this is loading, I'm going to thank the couple of people who have subscribed to my threads, and I am looking for a 2v2 partner. Let everybody know today's will be brought to you by me facing Icor LQ, who's the Zerg in the bottom left corner. So while this is loading up, I'm going to go ahead and thank the people who have subscribed to the thread. Additionally, now I've got quite a few subscribers. It's really appreciated, as well as both the comments, positive and negative as usual. Just going to go ahead and get a scout out really early. I don't like getting a scout out before 10 because you're really losing probably 150 minerals by your 16th drone, pulling a drone off that quick. Blistering Sands, you know where your enemy is. There's nothing really you're going to learn from him this early, and I doubt he's going to cheese you. It's not going to be very successful, as it never seems to be in StarCraft 2. So I've got my Overlord out here, slowing things down. I'm going to go ahead and drop out my 14 spawning pool. He's got an Overlord out in the center. It's not such a bad move. It's not something I particularly like to do. I like to get my Overlords where they are now. One scouting over this destructible rock, and the other one over here watching for any sort of attack or cheese. Getting my spawning pool. He got his right after mine. You can see mine's just slightly ahead of his, and one of the reasons for that is that he's got one less drone than I do here. So that is going to hinder him slightly. I'm glad he got the scout off early, but he really didn't learn anything important at all. 15, gonna extractor, get my 16th drone. And I thought about expanding here early, but I decided against it, as I had seen the spawning pool and I didn't want to get rushed. So I'm going to get some speedlings, work on economy as best I can. So I've got my drone coming back. He's coming back towards me. Queen's going out, and I've already got my 3 drones here ready to go on the gas. So I'm going to be able to get that upgrade pretty early if I want it. And if not, well, either way. Double extractor here, very interesting. He's got a low amount of drones here, so he's going to have to pull it down to where he's only got 8 drones on minerals. He's barely got any sort of econ. He can't pick much up, and he's got 2 extractors built here with no additional drones, so that's a bit silly. He can't do anything with it right now. And so there he goes. He's got 6 on there. He's going to pull 3 off. That's a standard move. So now he's got plenty of gas going in. Meanwhile, I'm not going to get gas for a little while. I got the spine crawler here as a defensive unit, and I'm thinking, alright, I'll maybe tech up here, getting some speedlings, which he doesn't have yet. He does have the Overlord scouting here, just like I do. So he's sending his drone back. I'm sending just 1 ling in, and I'm probably going to send him around the backside to try to get a good scout on him here. There's a spine crawler going in for him, so he's kind of the same as me, but a little slower. I do, however, have quite a few drones on minerals here, and he's got very few drones on minerals, and so you'll notice now, even then, getting this gas so early has put him back on minerals. Well, he does have enough minerals to check some stuff out. I'm going to get a big scout on him. I can see absolutely everything he has, so I've seen his whole base. He, meanwhile, only knows that I'm just building a spine crawler here, hasn't seen the second extractor going in, and he definitely doesn't see the large group of Zerglings that are coming in. Now, with his low amount of drones, he's going to be able to pump out quite a few lings here if he needs to, which he is doing now. It looks like he might be coming back at me. He's got the speedling upgrade going in, just like I do. I've also got my speedlings. Again, I'm a little further ahead of him, and I'm going to morph my hatchery into a layer here. I thought about maybe teching, wasn't really sure yet, but I figured, hey, what the hell, I'll get the hive. So he's got a couple lings here. I've got quite a few more. I got another 6 or 7 more than he does. However, the spine crawler is going to let him defend against this very well. I do have Overlord spread out, and let's see how he's doing on the APM. So APMs currently got him quite a bit higher than he is. I'm microing a lot more here than he is, and you can see part of it's going to pay off here. I'm not too worried about killing them all off when I saw this many Zerglings. I just decided, hey, I'm going to take out as many as I can. So he's got quite a few lings here to come after me. But I'm going to go ahead and use this chance to expand here pretty soon. So I've got my queen out here. I've got the layer up now. I'm going to go ahead and probably build, yeah, there's the Hydra Den coming in. So he's got a few lings going to each of these. It would have been a good time for him to attack now. He didn't have another scout on me. And with this spine crawler here, he probably wasn't going to do a whole lot. He might have gotten the queen, maybe a drone or 2. However, he does have more lings here. If he had attacked all of them, I might have had a problem. So he's got a couple of drones here. We'll go check out the resources that we have here. So you notice he's got more resources. He's not using them very well. He's got more of everything than I do. Unfortunately for him, he's not using it for anything. He's going straight for the infestation pit. He's going to get infestors, which, not knowing what your opponent has, infestors aren't that great of a unit. I mean, it's a very useful unit. Don't get me wrong. It's a very good unit. However, he still has no idea what I'm going. If I'm going for Mutalist, his infestors really do no good. He's going to bind them in place and not really solve any problems. So he's got a good scout up here. It's going to be hard for me to take that with one Zergling. I've got a couple of Lings here, but I know that they're there. So going back to it, I'm going to move this Hydralisk over, move him to the bottom here, and then he won't be able to hit those Lings, so I'm going to move him up over the top in just a second. Meanwhile, at the base here, I've got a couple of Lings. I'm still getting the larvae in there really well, and he's finally started using some of his minerals. So he's got these minerals. He still doesn't have enough drones. I mean, he needs another 4 or 5 drones total. He's got his infestation pit, but he's not using it for much. He's getting the Hydra attack speed, or sorry, range. However, he doesn't really have the drones to support a whole lot of that right now. Got a creep tumor, not using his overlords to spread that creep very well, and he still doesn't have an expansion, so he's playing very defensively, similar to me, except for the fact that I am now scouting him again. So I've done a pretty good job of scouting him. He's got a Zergling heading down there to the right to check on it, and it looks like he did scout up here on the left earlier. I'm going to go ahead and send this drone, and this is a tactic I've been using lately, especially on these maps with these blocked areas. It's kind of a StarCraft 1 sort of tactic in the fact that it does involve using... Whoop, there we go. Okay, my Zergling just died. So, drone coming out to the hatchery here. He's coming down at this pretty quick, but I've got Hydralisks and a couple of Lings here, and mine are upgraded, so he's going to lose quite a few units. Now, I guess I gave a spoiler on later. I'm going to end up expanding here, but not taking out these destructible rocks. It takes way too long, and it pulls too many units away from your base. If you build a hatchery just right here, then once you get a queen up, you can send the queen out of the destructibles, build a couple of units, pop this thing out. There it goes. There's the hatchery coming in there. So I got the hatchery coming in here. I figured I defended an attack. He's not going to do too well. So he's got a couple of hydras there. He's got a couple more. I'm pulling out some hydras, and I have roaches, which are going to do very well against his hydralisks. I'm getting this creep here because I figured maybe I'd scoot over and defend that. But as this is just about to pop out, I'm probably going to pull a couple drones off here sooner or later. A couple drones coming out, hydras, a couple of roaches, other things like that. So I'm keeping the larva up. He's keeping the larva up as well. Did not do a very good job with those first couple units. I'm going to lose one roach. He lost all his Zerglings. I'm going to take out a few hydras here before he even really knows what's going on. So he got a burrow there. Not the greatest thing to do. However, he does have more hydras than I do. So I've got 4 of these, and I was going to drop that spine crawler, but unfortunately the creep disappeared too quickly. So I'm going to get him burrowed down there. I'll keep a good amount of attack damage on those hydras there, and I do have more hydras. So he's at a disadvantage at this point, and not having built this hatchery earlier, he's now at another disadvantage, and he has no idea that this hatchery is here. So I'm now getting my queen here, I'm getting out a couple of drones, some Zerglings, and then up here again I'm getting a couple more units. So I'm getting enough units to defend his consistent attack here. Here's his infestor that's going to do a whole lot of good. He's not going to do a whole lot with that infestor, so I don't really know what he's looking to do with it, but I now have a creep, or a spine crawler, still calling them creep colonies, hydralisks, and roaches, so I've got a pretty decent attack force here to defend any sort of early game attack that he's going to send against me. He does have burrow, while I do not. I didn't feel that it was totally necessary here, but I'm getting another spine crawler. My queen's just popped out, and I'll probably get larvae there in just a second. One thing I'll mention is I did not rally this. It was a stupid move on my part, so I got a couple drones sitting around here. I'm not doing the best job of using them, and so they're really just sitting around here for most of the time. Meanwhile, he's got so many minerals. He should be using the larva here, but he's focusing too much on his micro. He doesn't have a queen started here, even though he's got the supplies for it. I'm getting my queen started right away, getting some of my drones going on here. So I'm going to get quite a few drones, actually, probably, and I got these spine crawlers, so he's not going to be able to do a whole lot in terms of attacking me. I also have some Zerglings that have gone up there, and I've got a couple of Hydralisks that are spawning out here, so I'm not too worried about it. I'm getting my level 2 attack damage. He's still on level 0, and you'll notice that starts to make a very large difference as things go on. I'm just trying to get a good scout on him, so I'm probably going to get most of these lings past. I get a couple of these lings down to attack the destructible rocks, but I'm not paying too much attention to the Zerglings behind, so they're going to take out my units there pretty quickly. He's got some Zerglings, a couple of Hydralisks, and he's still got this Infestor here. Now, he doesn't have Neural Parasite, but I don't really have a whole lot of units that are going to require the use of it. He's going to go for this Hatcher, or for this Spine Crawler, and lose most of his units to that. He did get one decent fungal growth on the units right here earlier. I'm not too worried about this Hydralisk. He's going to lose it. I do get really low on my Queen, but I got that Creep Tumor down, which allows me to move everything forward if I need to. Starting another Spine Crawler, I noticed that he was really going pretty heavy ground. I don't have a Scout on him at this point, so you can see I don't even see his Infestor Pit or any of the other stuff there. But at the same time, he still has no idea what I'm doing. All he knows about is the base down here, so I've done a pretty good job of hiding from him. At the same time, I do have quite a few drones up here now, and these are bringing in these orange minerals, which are worth more. I don't have a whole lot of other stuff going on here, and I haven't started taking out this destructible rock yet, but this gives me a really good... There I go. Gives me a really good expansion here to really take advantage of some of the extractors here and additional things, and then once this is done, I can go ahead and build a hatchery here, and then I'll have quite a few hatcheries up to pump out the units that I need. So I got a bunch of Hydralisks. I figured these Spine Crawlers are going to do a very good job, and I'd get a Spore Crawler in case he was trying to burrow roaches under. Now, if he had done that, I probably would have had a really serious issue up here. I did not build a whole lot, but I'm finally getting my Infestation Pit, and I'm keeping these upgrades going. It's so important to get these upgrades early, especially against another player who's going the same units as you are. If you've got the upgrades, you've got the advantage. Probably would have been better for me to get the Zergling, or the melee attack damage, as he's getting so many lings, but that's alright. So, I've got all these Changelings going out to take a scout on his base. He's probably going to see most of them. He's going to turn around and whack the crap out of a few of them.